Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe and I'm here outside a sunny but slightly blustery Old Trafford to do the news today. And first up we're going to be looking at Bournemouth's David Brooks. I looked at my phone, not because I don't know him, but because I wanted to make sure I said the right name. Apparently United are interested in the £40 million rated David Brooks. He's a winger who plays for Bournemouth, those who don't know him. This news is from the Daily Mail, who say that United have reached an impasse with Borussia Dortmund over Jadon Sancho. Obviously that deal seems to have stalled around the £120 million asking fee that Dortmund want for Sancho, and now United are looking at other targets, and it comes in the form of 23-year-old David Brooks for Bournemouth. Apparently the Bournemouth and Wales winger would be available for around the £40 million mark, which, let me know what you think of that fee in the comments below. Now for me, 40 million seems a lot for a player who, he plays for a relegated team. He spent 8 months out this season injured with an ankle injury, and also, he's 23 years old, and not that that makes him an old player or anything other than, still a lot of potential in there, I'm sure, but it's not 18, 19 years old where you expect him to sort of really come on and become, twice the player that he is currently. He's got 7 goals and 5 assists last season in his breakthrough season in the league, but it's just, it seems a lot of money to me for a player, like I said, who has been relegated with his team. We were looking at a similar type of fee in that 40 to 50 million pound mark for Jack Grealish when it looked as though Aston Villa were going to be relegated, and now David Brooks, who is obviously a less of a name than Jack Grealish was, has done less things in the Premier League, has done less things for his club than Jack Grealish has at Aston Villa, certainly this season, and we're looking at around 40 million for him as well. It seems a lot of money to me for, again, someone who's 23 years old who plays for a relegated team. I'm saying the same points over and over again because I wouldn't say disbelief. 40 million, it's not disbelief territory, but it's certainly slightly sceptical of this one. Certainly think, surely there are better options available for that kind of fee. Not that I'm at all trying to put down David Brooks or his quality or anything of that nature. I just think we've seen rumours of sort of 30 to 35 million for Donny van der Beek, and he's someone who's got proven Champions League experience, who's won titles with Ajax, who, we've seen him against the top of the top in terms of teams, and he's done well against those teams. A lad who's been out injured with an ankle injury for 9 months. It seems as though 40 million might be a lot for him, although, if he does sign for United, I'll turn all that around. I'll look at the 2018-19 highlights and I'll say how good he was, but it just seems a lot of money to me. But let me know what you think to this one. And it looks as though, again, this is the first step on that road to finding alternatives to Jadon Sancho. I saw it referred somewhere as replacements for Jadon Sancho, like we've already signed him and then we had to let him go. These are alternatives, not replacements, because despite the rumours for the last 10 months, we haven't actually signed Jadon Sancho. Let me know what you think to this one. David Brooks from Bournemouth, 40 million quid. Let me know what you think to the player, let me know what you think to the fee in the comments below. Next story today then, and this is Dean Henderson. Man United goalkeeper looks close to signing a new contract at Old Trafford. This is coming from Sky Sports and a number of other sources. Now this is off the back of Dean Henderson writing a sort of goodbye letter almost to Sheffield United and to the Sheffield United fans on his Instagram, talking about how much he's enjoyed his last 2 years at the club and how much he's enjoyed his time in the Premier League and getting promoted with Sheffield United, obviously where he's been on loan for the last 2 years. And then off the back of that, Sky Sports are reporting that Henderson has said goodbye to Sheffield United after his loan at Bramall Lane. He said he'll look back at his 2 years as an important chapter in his career. I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to learn and develop with such a class group of lads. 4 months of talks are closing in on a long-term deal which will be worth in excess of £100,000 a week for the 23-year-old, making him one of the best paid goalkeepers in world football. Why are all of Man United's players the best paid ... in world football? The best paid left back, the best paid backup centre back, the best paid goalkeeper, the best paid... United love paying people a lot of money, don't they? I saw something the other day where, the likes of the lads who are coming through the youth system and the people who are sort of on some of their first or second contract in the first team are on similar amounts to some of the equivalent stars in those positions across the world. I'm not going to name names. I'm not trying to dig anyone out for getting a big contract because it's not my money. Fair play to any young lad who gets a big contract, but you just think £100,000 a week for a lad who has never played a first team game for Manchester United, that seems a lot of money to me. 23 years old, like I said, making him one of the best paid goalkeepers in the world. It also brings closer the prospect of Henderson and David De Gea going toe to toe for the coveted #1 jersey at Old Trafford next season. On Wednesday Thursday afternoon, Henderson posted a goodbye message to Sheffield United fans on Instagram, bringing to an end any slim chance of a third season at Bramall Lane. Now that's something that's been discussed by us, by the newspapers, by you at home, I'm sure. Where will Dean Henderson play next season? He's obviously contracted at Man United, with it looking like he may extend that for another 5 years. David De Gea's not had his best season, to say the least. He's had, another poor season. Let's be honest, it's not been good from David De Gea this year. It's going to be interesting to see how all this works, because obviously you've got De Gea and Romero in there at the moment, and Romero being that sort of understudy number 2 type figure. If Henderson comes in, will he be to replace Romero for a season and do that number 2 role while he learns? Because it seems as though he's in the mindset and he's of the quality where he's looking to replace De Gea long term. It's not he wants to come in and be number 2 for the rest of his career. So do you get rid of Romero to bring Henderson in and use him in the cups for a season while you sort of blood him into that first team role? Or do you get rid of De Gea and bring him straight in? Or because if you get rid of Romero and you've got Dean Henderson as your number 2 for a season, what do you do next season? You have to buy... you have to hope that he was the right man to start with, and then you have to buy another number 2 to replace Romero, who you let go for a year. Or does Romero get put down to number 3? And I don't know, it's very confusing, but it looks as though Dean Henderson will be staying at Manchester United. Certainly in terms of contract, there is potential, I suppose, for a loan to another club, whether that be Sheffield United. It's looking unlikely at this point, or potentially somewhere else. Let me know whether you think Dean Henderson is going to come straight in as that number 1 spot, whether he'll have a season as number 2, whether he'll have another season on loan. Very confusing. And finally then, Manchester United's third kit has been leaked, has been rumoured, has been shown pictures of online by Footy Headlines. Here's the kit. There's a lot going on there, isn't there? There's a lot to see, a lot to look at. It's called a Dazzle Camo, apparently, which sounds like it's just very fancy, isn't it? A very fancy set of words, that Dazzle Camo. Personally, and you're going to be surprised to hear this, I like it. I think it looks like, do you know those blackjack chew bars? Do you know what you get from the sweet shop where it's like black, white, black, white? I like it. I like the kit. I think it's weird, obviously, but we always have a red kit. Of course, classic red kit. You love the red kit. We've got the black kit, which again, it's got the slight pattern on it, but it's a relatively basic design this season. And then you've got this Dazzle Camo, and it's not gone down well online. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Unlike the chew bar that it's clearly designed after, it's not going to be a sweet one on the palate for a lot of people. This one, obviously, it looks weird. White and black with sort of a red. It looks like a zebra that's been a bit stabbed. Do you know, like it's just been a bit like it's been hit with a bow and arrow or something, a bit of blood coming out, but generally the zebra is still in good condition. Let me know what you think to the kit. Does it look like a zebra that's been a bit stabbed? Does it look like a blackjack chew bar? Does it look, all of these things you're going to have to get a picture of, Callum, so I don't know what you're smiling at. Get a picture of a stabbed zebra and put it on the screen. Let me know what you think to it. Obviously, the third kits are often a bit more wacky, a bit more fun. We saw the pink kit last season. We've seen other kits of a similar style where things you sort of go, hang on a sec. But this is in the sort of the current mode and the current sort of routine of having these retro kits, these strange patterned kits that are a throwback to kits from the late 80s and early 90s. Well, this looks to me like the sort of kit that you'll be getting a throwback to in 20 years. If we win a trophy in this kit, and I've said this a million times, this will be an absolute stunner, I think. It looks weird. It looks insane. Give it a chance. Right, that's going to be all from me today here at Old Trafford. The fixtures have been announced and we're going to be bringing out a video about all of those later on, so make sure you tune in for that. We're also going to be speaking to an expert on Bournemouth, David Brooks, to get the latest on that transfer over on the Tier 1 podcast, so make sure you check that out. I'm just hearing word from my producer that he refuses to put a picture of a stabbed zebra on the video, so you're going to be getting a picture of a normal zebra in case you didn't know what they look like. Thank you very much for joining me again. Let me know what you think to this transfer of David Brooks, £40 million potentially. Let me know what you think to Dean Henderson coming in, and of course, let me know what you think to the normal zebra and the blackjack chew bar kit that United are set to be releasing probably sometime this week. See you in a bit.